Welcome back. We all know music can make us feel better when we're having a bad day.
But one Concordia professor says we're just scratching the surface of how music can really help people, especially children, heal from trauma. Valley News Team's Gabriel Osler explains.
Try and focus on your breath. Breathing really slowly.
This exercise might seem like your average team building or ice-breaking activity. Really, though, these are K-12 music educators, and they're garnering a greater understanding of themselves while they improve their instructional capabilities.
To see the healing that they were doing. We did a lot of music making, and it was a very warm space where they were able to do the expressive things.
Dr. Abigail von Klompenberg is leading this grad program at Concordia College and working to spread awareness of trauma-informed music therapy.
How that can impact the way our students are performing music, or whether students are behaving or misbehaving in the class, the context of their home around it.
These teachers already seek to relate to their students. Now, they have a whole new perspective on how their instruction can help those students overcome issues in their personal lives.
Seeing how music can really connect with students. You know, it's not an easy thing, but there's a lot of different ways to achieve like flow state and stuff like that, because you're practicing and really focusing in, and music, you know, opens gateways into other topics as well.
Zach Barch is a 5 through 12 band director in Prairie Farm, Wisconsin, population 500. So he understands the unique challenges that come with growing up in a more rural community.
I grew up on a farm, you know, so I kind of grew up without some of the opportunities that some other people had, but music was kind of my safe space away from home. You don't know what they're going home to, you don't know what they deal with after school.
Van Klompenberg just hopes that understanding of trauma and the restorative power of music.
Music can help those who have endured trauma really return to their bodies and feel safe once again.
Doesn't stop here. In Moorhead, Gabriel Osler, Valley News Live.
Van Klompenberg is also teaching this topic as a class for undergrads this fall and hopes to host regular teacher workshops in the future.